All right. So I hope you don't mind. We have a plenty of time. So I really hope nobody minds if I stretch a little long. First of all, let me talk about the course. I think designed beautifully. You know that. I don't need to say it. It's actually been very, very well researched, technically, beautifully designed course to actually implement the learning, to not only pass on, as in it's not a passing the parcel, but very, very actionable solutions is what we received. So I see a lot of points that I took that I'm going to go ahead and maybe I've already started implementing a few things over the course of last 8 weeks, out of which 7 we had classes in, so 2 months. So I've already implemented a few things, and yes, very, very, appropriate targeted methods. They work, right? Special points which I was looking for. See, I already have over 20 years of L&D experience. So probably it was most difficult for you all to bring value add and learning to a person like me. I understand. I must have been the most difficult target in the group. That how do we bring learning to her? What do we make her learn, which is new and which wows her? And let me tell you, you guys successfully did that. Specifically, the points that I've written down. One is the formation of learning objectives. We keep learning that all the time, and as time goes by, we forget. And then it is just a copy paste from different places and we work on it. I've started rewriting the learning objectives on all my courses, right? It becomes a mundane bureaucratic thing that you do and you don't really focus so much on that page, right? But I have actually gone back and rewritten the learning objectives on quite a few of my courses, and I'm doing that to the remaining. I will be doing that in the near future. Second, balancing of the training activities. I'm going back and checking all my courses if my percentage balance is right. Is there too much of something? Is there something that I'm not doing? See, I had all these activities in place, but the percentage bifurcation that you gave me was a learning, and I'm seeing to it that I make sure I redesign or rework on my programs to match the scales that you've given us. Okay, the third one is evaluating learning impact. See, there's always a gray area in that. And having worked as a learning and development professional for long, there was, certain, I wouldn't say it's a clear black and white now, but yeah, my gray has definitely darkened. So it's a better gray now. It's a better shade of gray than what I started off with. And this area in the industry, I think most of us understand that, yeah, especially for behavioral training, there is a strong gray area. How do we measure a lot of things unless we have a very long-term association, unless there is training and coaching, together over a long period of time, it is very difficult to measure behavioral output. Technical output, excuse me, quite easy, but behavioral, yeah. But yeah, I'm at a better spot now. The second last would be the 10-step ROI method that we learned in the last session, and how to approach a client with that method, a complete turnaround of the approach to a client, where you do not go with a problem approach, but you go with a solution approach. And that's something which I requested Mr. Chakraborty to share his mail ID and his WhatsApp number, which he very, very, I'm glad, and we're all glad that he did immediately in the session, where I said, I'm going to try it out with a few clients. And I'm sure for the first few times I'm going to fail. And I will get back to him on, this is where I failed. How do I do this better? And last but not the least, that's my biggest learning and was my biggest target of everything, is moving to an online structure. Like, I've been doing all my sessions physically, right? In all these years, the only time I did online sessions was during Corona, right? But I felt that there could be some value add to it, and I had not, excuse me, had not learned about it anywhere, right? It was a trial and error method. So not only did I learn the theory, All right. But these 7 sessions have been my practical learning from wonderful people like you. How to exactly conduct a short-term and a long-term session, online. So this session has been a class. It's been a practical class, right? It's been a demo. It's been a hands-on learning, whatever you call it, right? That's the hidden agenda. That was the hidden agenda, right? So, and I think I couldn't have made a better choice than ACT for that. Right. So these are, what it goes for learning. On the learning part, a special note of thank you to Neha, who was, somebody who I connected to before signing up for the course. Bidisha, who was our academic coordinator, if I may call her, and Anamika ma'am. The second session, before signing up, I had talked about it that I have an exam and I will miss the second session. Right. And, 3 of them together made sure that I got that extra session. And Anamika was, in no rush. I was first promised a half an hour session that you will only get half an hour, that the trainer will take you through. And then Bidisha set a meeting for about 45 minutes. All right. And the session went on for 1.5 hours. And Anamika was in no rush. And the one session that I was so upset about missing on learning objectives, I did not miss it, thanks to you all. And I know that is going above and beyond what you were supposed to deliver. And I have absolute respect for that. I know I can't give you anything more in return for the more that you've given me. But yes, my respect will be there outright for each one of you. And if ever I can reach out above and beyond for any one of you or the organization, feel free to reach out. I will adjust my schedules and whatever I have, and I'll make sure I'll come through. I'll be there. Right. So that's a favor. That's a favor I owe you. And I would love to give it back something. Right. So on that note, like I said, I'll go a little long. A vote of thanks can't be complete without naming the names, right? So first of all, thank you, Neha. I know she's not here, but she's the one who got me signed up for the course. Bidisha, the coordinator, extremely planned, well-planned, proactive, and somebody who takes initiative. Beautiful woman. And the way on, we got everything timely. Every mail was responded. I'm sure mine were not the only mail she was receiving. She must be answering to hundreds of those every day. But none of them missed the deadlines or timelines. Instant response, or within the timeline. Even the delay of the session was conveyed way early to us for us to be able to plan it. So Neha, Bidisha, yes. Our trainers, of course, Aditi, Anamika, and Sudeshna, Mr. Chakraborty, of course. What do I tell you guys? Yeah, I love you all
so much.
Especially the 3 of you. I absolutely am in love with you. So not only were, like I said, you were a trainer for me in this session, but I connected so beautifully, and especially Sudeshna. I see as a future friend. So someday I see a beautiful friendship brewing because of our journeys have been so aligned, and I see some twinning happening, some kind of a twinning happening between the 2 of us.
True.
So
thanks, Amrita. I'm fortunate.
And you were right. I think for somebody with 20 years of experience, you guys were beautiful role models for me to follow during my online sessions. And this was an agenda that I had, which was not a part of the learning objective. You never said we'll give you practical hands-on training on online learning, but I took it and you gave it to me beautifully. Right?
Fantastic.
Where to drop, where to start, how do you connect with your participants online, everything. I think beautiful. Thank you. I think that says it all, right? Somebody like me